Hello, sports fans. Another video session today. I'll try to keep it to 4 minutes, or maybe less, maybe a little bit more. Today the subject is weapons and the weapons of your warfare. And I know we've all heard 1,000 sermons and 1,000 youth pastors and children's pastors and regular pastors all preach about weapons. But today I want to talk, this is South Texas. At least this is coming to you from South Texas. So, there's lots of weapons we have in our lives. Sometimes it's knives. Sometimes we all have knives. You can go from weapons. This little knife here, it's a little Swiss Army knife. It could be used as a weapon, right? Definitely. It could be a weapon or it could be a tool. We have other kinds of weapons. We have this little 357 Magnum pistol that I carry around in my car and sometimes on my person. That's also a weapon. So you got that kind of weapon. Or you can go with a shotgun. You got shotguns. This is a 20 gauge. I think it's a 20 gauge pump we have. It's a nice gun. It shoots birds, shoots a scatter pattern. It's kind of open. Not for shooting a long ways off. Not for trying to shoot anything specific, like a really tight target. But just when you're shooting at birds and things like that, and you're trying to bring home the bacon, right? Then we also have like a deer rifle. There's a weapon. A deer rifle. It's a 30-06. Nice interchangeable. Not an interchangeable, but a nice wide-ranging caliber. You can shoot very small bullets to very large bullets in the .06. You can shoot very small game up to elk and bear and moose and everything else with a 30-06. Good, but it's a weapon and it shoots at a farther distance. 300, 400, 500 yards is a good shot. 600, 700, 800 yards is an incredible shot. 200 yards is an average good shot. But it's a weapon. Okay, now you guys. All of you Halo people will understand that because you have the needler gun and you pick up the pistols and you have the whatever it is, the machine gun, you have the AK-47 kind of guns, and you have the sniper rifles which shoot it a long ways. Another one we have here is a Yugoslav SKS. It shoots rapid fire, shoots about 10 shots real fast, even has a bayonet on the end. Woo-hoo-hoo, fun stuff, huh? That would be a weapon. But the Bible talks about a different kind of set of weapons, and I know you guys all know about that. You've all heard about it 1,000 times. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 2, 3, 4, and 5, Paul says that we do not live, although we walk in the flesh, we do not war according to the flesh, meaning those kinds of weapons I just showed you. But the weapons of our warfare are divinely powerful for the destruction of fortresses, and for the tearing down of strongholds, and for taking captive every thought which raises itself up against the knowledge of God. Now remember that verse, and we're going to jump to another one. Another verse in the Bible you've all heard 1 billion times, right? It's when Paul in Ephesians chapter 6, starting in verse 10, is telling people to put on the full armor of God. It says, "Be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power," verse 10. "Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, authorities, powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place." Kind of like a flak jacket, right? To protect your vital organs. "And with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace." You can't be violent. You got to have some peace in your life, right? To be able to share peace with others. In addition to this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish the flaming darts of the evil one. And take the helmet of salvation. So I'll take this off. So I got a helmet here. I can put it on. See? Aha! There you go. Got a helmet, right? My son's old high school football helmet. I got a belt here. I could put on a belt if I wanted to put a belt around me. But again, those are just silly examples, right, of the truth that talks about the belt of truth. How many of us really analyze how truthful we are in our life from day to day? And how many of us really think about what our salvation means to us? If it's the helmet of salvation, what is it that guards your thoughts and guards your mind and tries to protect us from, going nuts, for the sake of a, better example, or for, cheating on our significant others, or for telling lies to people we care about, or being deceptive in everything or anything we do. What is it that protects our thoughts and our mind? Well, our salvation. Remembering that we're saved, we believe in Jesus Christ, we've given our lives to Him, we want to follow Him. Those are some weapons that we need to remember, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. I read that. It's the Bible. The Word of God is the sword of the Spirit. So if you learn this and you know this and you understand this, or try as best you can to learn it and understand it, you have a weapon. Now, does that mean it's a hurtful weapon? Heck no. But is it a weapon that you can help people, that you can encourage people, that you can help them take their thoughts captive? You can help them lead encouraging, positive lives. You can change the course of their day or their week or their year. You know, sometimes one verse for a person can change the path of their entire life, folks. I'm not blowing smoke in your eyes again. I'm not messing with you. I'm telling you the truth. Sometimes one or two verses, or sometimes just pointing somebody in the right direction and getting them to read it themselves, can totally redirect it. You know, I talked to a guy once on the phone years and years ago. This is probably 24 years ago. He had called into the church I worked at, and I was just a janitor at that time in the church, but he called in and I was there, and he wanted to commit suicide, and he wanted to kill himself. And I talked to him for about 20 minutes. And I don't know whether I talked him out of it, but he didn't do it. So chalk one up for the Gipper, right? I mean, maybe I talked him out of it, but the truth is, then he came to church a few times. And he met some people, not me, because I wasn't one of the pastors and ministers, none of that stuff. But he met people and he talked to people and he got his life on a better footing. And I don't know how he's done now, but I hope and pray he and his wife and his children have done better. But he had a family and kids then. But just words are important. And remember that and don't forget that. Okay? And this is probably gone way over 4 minutes. Sorry.